Welcome to Intuitive Art Sales. This is the show where I, Jessica Craddock, am going to teach you how to source your art marketing from within. You're going to practice claiming that authentic art business that you want and leading into the most natural way for you to get there. You're going to learn to get connected to your intuition, your confidence, and your community so that you can sell your art consistently while holding strong boundaries on your work-life balance. The other day, I was sitting around doing my morning pages. If you guys don't know what those are, you should probably read The Artist's Way. I'll be perfectly honest, I haven't gotten all the way through it or even very far, but I did get to the section about morning pages and it changed my life and I didn't have to read anymore. Maybe I'll get back to it at some point. Anyway, I was doing my morning pages and all of a sudden I realized this insight came out. And I discovered that I had this deep-seated fear of success, but not just any success necessarily. It was that the more success that I have, the more that I would be told that I'm not enough. And that was just this crushing blow. And it felt terrible. And for a minute, I felt like, well, that's it. There's nothing I can do about this. I can either deal with it or I can quit. And I'm not going to quit. So I guess I got to deal with this. And then I remembered this process that I teach my clients about how to examine what's really behind things. And so I did it for myself. And what I came up with on the other end was a new belief, which was I get everything I want when I choose it and not before. It felt believable. It felt empowering. It felt like my heart was full as opposed to before when I just wanted to cry. And I know a lot of us, scratch that. Every single one of us has these fears that are unrealistic. Or maybe there is some truth in them, but they don't have to be the absolute truth. We can work through them. We can practice facing our fears. We can find new ways to see things that enable us to move forward in our business. I like to say that business is the best personal growth tool that I know of, because no matter what, there's always another layer to uncover. There's always another belief lurking underneath your thoughts that needs to be healed. I was going to say eradicated, but that's not correct. It doesn't need to be eradicated. It's there to help you. It's there to serve a purpose. But what needs to happen is that you're able to make friends with it, to make peace with it, to see the good in it, and also to see the other side, what is also true, that is going to help you move forward and get more of what you want. And I'm telling you all of this because I don't want anyone to ever think that I have it all figured out, that it's easy and perfect for me, and there's something wrong with you if you're not able to do X and Y and Z. I want you to know that everyone experiences this. And what differentiates those of us who keep going is the ability and the desire to keep growing, to keep being the kind of artist entrepreneur who chooses, this is what I want. And no matter what I have to do to get it, I'm going to get it. I'm going to learn. I'm going to grow. I'm going to become better. I can do this. And at the same time, I'm already enough. I have what I need in order to keep going. So I don't know who needed to hear that this week, but I thought if it's something that I'm experiencing, I bet other people are too. And I just wanted to share my own experience around limiting beliefs let me rephrase that, around my current limiting beliefs and those things that I'm personally working through, and encourage you to do the same. And maybe you're not even sure what those are, but you know that there's something lurking under the surface there. And if that's you, try morning pages. What you do is you sit down for, I don't know, it really, to be perfectly honest, it takes me about an hour and a half. And that seems extreme. And why would you do that? Because there's so many insights that happen in that time period. Your day becomes clearer. You figure out what's going on in your head and why you're thinking that. And it's just one of the most, when I choose to make it a priority, one of the most empowering experiences of my day or of my week. And it's worth every second. So you sit down, you put your pen to paper, and you start writing. And you don't stop until you've got 3 full pages. That's the only rules. 3 full pages. If you sit there and don't know what to say, you can write until you get somewhere. Sometimes I'll find myself starting to stare off into space, and I'll say, no. And I'll pull myself back and write down whatever I was daydreaming about or thinking about, and that will get me going again. Sometimes, if I'm really focused, I can do it in an hour. Sometimes, but I like to plan for about an hour and a half. So that is one tool I'd love to share with you this week, is The Artist's Way. It's a book by Julia Cameron. My guess is most of you have read it. If you haven't, buy it at your bookstore, get it on Audible, order it off the internet, whatever you have to do. Or just take away this concept of morning pages to help you figure out what is it that's going on in my head and keeping me stuck. And remember, your growth, your self-growth is worth the investment. It's worth the time. It's worth the energy. And actually, spending time on these things will help you move faster, even though you think, I don't have the time for that. It's like throwing fuel on the fire. It's just going to make you go faster. I also want to tell you about a program that I'm going to be running from the beginning of January to the middle of February. And it's actually a part of my consistent income for artists program, but I'm pulling it out separately so that those who need just this piece of things can sign up for that separately and not have to grab the whole program. It's called Money Now, and it's about learning what actions will help you bring in sales today and practicing them within a support system. It's going to teach you the brave habits that you need to make money now. And it's specifically for artists who haven't figured out how to make about $1,000 inside of a month in their business yet. Or it's for artists who tend to have those ups and downs, those ebbs and flows in their business, and sometimes they find themselves just needing to make some cash, but they haven't quite figured out how to do that yet. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about that, I will put a link in the show notes. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit subscribe so that you can get new episodes loaded straight onto your phone as soon as they're ready. And if you have a couple extra seconds in your day, would you take the time to rate this show with how many stars you think it deserves? I would be ever so grateful. See you next time.